Welcome back to the lab, trainers, to another, well, a different episode of Saccharum versus. Today, I'm supposed to show you my GBA match between myself and Lieutenant Cruz. I'm the owner of the Indianapolis Keldeos, and he is the owner of the Dallas Starmies. I believe he's actually the new owner of the Dallas Starmies, so there's that. But unfortunately, due to the circumstances at B, I was not actually able to get the footage for our battle. As you see, we had our match completely, we finished it, but as the match finished, we disconnected. So I was not able to save the battle video because one, I did have room, but two, it just wasn't gonna let me because I disconnected. So instead, what I have here is me live. Of course, you can see me reading you the turns that happened. Luckily, the match was actually simple enough that I could read the turns turn per turn. I recorded it all on my Pokedex, my Pokenav, whatever you want to call it. This is my Pokedex. This is my Pokedex, my journal. So I will be reading that turn per turn. But first off, let's have a little bit of a team preview. As you can see, I'll have it on the display hopefully, and I'll kind of let it go as it goes, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. As you can see, I have this awesome team on my side, I believe. I'm rocking the Keldeo, the Mr. Mime, the Klefki, Donphan, Lopunny, my Mega Lopunny, and Pikachu. Now, the reason why I brought this team was because I felt that together, it actually checked most everything on his team, and my reasoning for bringing Donphan probably over Flygon was one, in case he did set up hazards with his Starmie or something, or with his Venusaur if he had Toxic Spikes. I can't remember what Pokemon on his team actually had hazard support, possibly, but I brought him for that, and for the fact that he can get Stealth Rocks, and in case he brought Arcanine, I'd be able to take a Flare Blitz very easily and be able to knock it out with an Earthquake or threaten it away. So there was that right there. Now, his team actually, let me just get to it right here because I do have it saved, I believe, still on to my decks. I hope. Where'd it go? There it is. He actually was bringing the Registeel, the Venusaur, Tyranitar, Starmie, Kyurem, Regular, and the Shaman. So right there from Team Preview, if I was running my standard Lopunny, which I vouched to change Ice Punch over to Facade, Mega Lopunny knocked out his entire team. So that was my best play. So I did decide to actually lead off with Mega Lopunny right off the bat. Let me just get back to my notes. And he leads off with Registeel. So there was always that right there. I had the type matchup right away, and I was going to regardless, and if anything, I could just scare him away with a thought that I had Ice Punch, but I didn't, which is really unfortunate. So first turn, I go for the Mega Evolution, and I go for the Fake Out just to get some damage, and I wanted to kind of see what kind of variant he might have been. Even though it's a resisted hit, Fake Out from Mega Lopunny still does a lot of damage depending on how defensive or special defensive Registeel was. So I wanted to check that out there, and then I easily just kind of went for High Jump Kick because it hit everything on his team really hard for damage. So I did just decide to go for that. I ended up knocking it out, and then we have the Kyurem entering that spot afterwards. Now, Mega Lopunny does end up going for High Jump. I do actually go for High Jump Kick again with Mega Lopunny, outspeed the Kyurem, which wasn't Scarfed, which to my surprise it wasn't Scarfed, and I managed to knock it out. So there was that. So that was 2 Mons down in the first 2 turns of the match, which was amazing to me. Then he goes into his Shaman, and I returned the Shaman because I actually thought, I had a feeling that was going to be doing more damage to Shaman than High Jump Kick would. And Shaman goes for the Air Slash and crits me, which brings me down to very, 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 very low health, which was not good for me having a potential sweep with Mega Lopunny. I could have actually still swept even without Ice Punch. I probably could have still swept had he had not crit me. Luckily, it wasn't a flinch, which could have been worse, but actually, I probably would have preferred the flinch. Actually, no, because I outsped it. So I would have actually preferred the nothing happening at all. So I go for a second return again after, Lopunny, I actually have the note here. Lopunny was at 11 HP after that crit. So I believe that it was probably special attack invested. So then after that, I do go for the second return on Shaman and Shaman faints. So that's 3 mons down in the first 4 turns, which is really cool for me. Really good. Then Tyranitar enters and the Sandstorm goes up. So I know right away Tyranitar is his Mega from the team. So he could have actually brought Mega Tyranitar. He could have also brought regular Tyranitar, which is fine. Now, here's where things got interesting. He pulls the double out, or pulls out Tyranitar, expecting the high jump kick, and goes into Starmie. Excuse me. And goes into Starmie, which takes about half HP or so. And then return, I go for return the second turn, not wanting to risk a miss or protect potentially. So I end up going for return, and I end up knocking out Starmie after I outsped it. So there was that too, which was really, really nice. But I do take some chip damage from sand every turn, so now I'm whittling down slowly but surely. I live the next couple turns with Lopunny. Actually, no, Lopunny goes down to sand this turn. My apologies right there. I should be reading my notes. So then I decided to go into Klefki because at this point I can actually set up hazards, which was very, very nice for me. And on my side of the field, and then he sent out Venusaur on his side. I have Klefki go for spikes, and Venusaur then hits me with a Leech Seed. Scary. I go for spikes. He goes for Amnesia. I didn't realize that he went for Amnesia at first, so I went for another layer of spikes the next turn after that, so I got all 3 layers of spikes up. He goes for Amnesia again. I'm like, wait, what did he do the turn before? So now he's at plus special defense. I'm like, I'm not sure if Mr. Mime can knock this out now, because Mr. Mime, for some reason, I decided to run Psychic over Psyshock, which Psyshock probably would have been better, even though it didn't guarantee a 3-hit KO on physically defensive Venusaur, which is very still possible that this is a physically defensive Venusaur, because I didn't get to gauge with Mega Lopunny or anything, so there was that, and that was very terrifying. But now he's at plus, I believe it's plus 4 special defense, and I have nothing really but specially offensive moves. It's bad. So the next turn I go for Foul Play with Klefki, and he goes for the Giga Drain. The Giga Drain brings me down a little bit. I go for the next turn I go for Foul Play. He goes for Giga Drain again. Klefki faints. It was good. I wanted that. And the time that I thought it would still work, because the way I had trained my Mr. Mime was that I was still going to be doing as much damage as possible while being able to take any hit from Venusaur. That's the way I originally trained it, and that's the way I continued to use it, because I thought it to be a very good special wall, especially defensive wall. As I send in Mr. Mime that turn, and I go for Psychic, he lives it very, very well. It's probably like a clean 5, maybe 6-hit KO, and he ends up going for Leech Seed. So instead, now I'm like, well, I can't really do anything to this Pokemon. Let me go for Shadow Ball, trying to get the special defense drop, which actually, now that I'm thinking about it, was probably a bad play, because I could have kept going for Psychic, hoping for crits and possibly special defense drops, and still getting super effective stab damage off. So it would have been whittling this Venusaur down a little faster. So there's probably my big misplay of the match right there. As he does go for Toxic on my Mr. Mime, and then Venusaur continues to Giga Drain as I just continually go for Shadow Balls, misplaying non-stop, trying to get the special defense drop. Because if anything, if I got the special defense drop, I could take it out with like Pikachu or something with a hit. Actually, with Pikachu with a Hidden Power Ice. Now, Pikachu enters, and Pikachu goes for Hidden Power Ice. Venusaur eats it up like a monster, and because all of its HP has been brought back thanks to the Giga Drains and thanks to the Leech Seed, I've done no damage to this Venusaur whatsoever, so I messed up really bad. But he goes for the Giga Drain, and Pikachu lives with 1 HP. Literally 1 HP. That was crazy for me from a Pikachu, especially since it has 0 investment in special defense whatsoever. Now, I do go for Hidden Power again. He goes for Giga Drain. I faint. That's okay. I send in Donphan this time because now it's one of my only mons left, and I do have to go for physically offensive move, as specially offensive moves are not working for me. Why I didn't go into Donphan sooner, it was probably a little confusing for me. I go for Earthquake and I get him to half, and then he goes for Giga Drain and gets most of his HP back. I go for Earthquake again. He goes for Giga Drain. I believe actually at this point, I believe Venusaur actually outsped my Donphan. So that means that I didn't actually get to pull off EQ, but I went for it again, just in case if he choked and went for Leech Seed, just to be that guy. And then Donphan faints. And then after that, I decided to go, there you go, into my Keldeo, and the only move that I could hit for physical damage was Secret Sword, which it did a lot. It did a lot. It does well over half. Yeah, it does well over half. But Giga Drain brings me down to red and brings him back to the green. So I go for Secret Sword again, and Venusaur Giga Drains me, and Lieutenant Cruz has won with a 2-0. So that was the battle there. I'm really sorry I couldn't get the footage for you guys. I really wanted to show this battle just because it's been a while since I've had a video with RC, and it's I believe it was week 16 of the GBA, now probably being referred to as the MLB, but I don't know if that's waiting till season 2 happens or whatever, or MLP, I believe, actually. I don't remember off the top of my head. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm really sorry it's not what you guys were probably expecting. But if you did like this video, please be sure to hit that like button down below and subscribe if you haven't already done so. And be sure to check out the description for all the links I've got, being Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, everything. I do live streams. I probably won't be doing them Thursday anymore, just because now I'm back getting my education at my school, and but Saturdays I probably will be streaming, but it's gonna be a little bit later this week because I don't get home till like 8 o'clock, and then I gotta set up, so I'll be ready by like 9 o'clock, but we'll be going till midnight regardless. But again, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next time when you visit the lab. Bye.